Hey everyone, this is Trail Ducker, or my real name's Tyson, and doing my sixth and final playthrough of Design League 4.1 courses. Wanted to give the entrants some feedback from the judges so that they have some things to build on for their next course. So this is Design League 4.1 Finlay. And as always, to start, I make sure I'm on the back tee. There's only one, pin 3, and then still on it, low for my last round, low wind speed so that I don't have any crazy winds that affect my judging. And then before I get in, I'll start some music and get started. So, as I mentioned on some of the other playthroughs, the first three when I did those, we didn't have the judging finalized, but these last three we did. So this one ended up getting second place, and it was pretty close for between second and first. As you see here, it's a cool kind of deserty location with this low water. Pretty sure this is the double water plane use, and it looks real cool the way it's like this shallow creek that you play through. And this is probably the best planted and looking course in this first competition. Real cool look. The way the sand from the low water just kind of organically kind of claws its way up towards the course. I know it was intentional to go straight fairway with no rough, but I will say I think it needs even if it's a very thin layer. There's a brush, and I mentioned this on I think Bobby J's Design League playthrough as well. There's a brush, I think it's on the third tab, that has a little thin kind of semi-round off of one side. If you go use that side and go along the edges here, and you'll have to click a couple times, but it creates a really nice kind of random gradient rough layer, and you can do it real thin, and it ends up looking real good. I know I used it on courses that aren't in 2K23 because they died with Stadia, but I used it on Moab Downs and my National League one in Angola, Valle da Lua. Yeah, so starting, this fairway is a little far. I like to create fairways around 150 to 180. And then I think a common theme about this course will be the driveway gets a little too pinched. Like here, it's really tight. I get you're kind of saying it's kind of a Cape style hole, and you're saying eat off as much as you can chew, and you're almost taking driver out of it. If I didn't have a face wind though, I can just try to bomb it towards the pin, and big drivers really can do that. So that is something to think about, is okay, well, how am I not being penalized just because I don't have one of the big boy drivers? And did my normal habit from my Stadia playing days of too fast of a swing. But generally, it's a nice opener hole. Just kind of makes you decide how much do you want to try to eat off of the water, and then to get as close to the hole as possible. This is a real cool par 3, looking par 3. Real cool environment that's kind of nestled in this area. The water's there, although it's not a big part of the strategy unless you really fast or slow it, but yeah, good job on this one. And then here, yeah, you kind of are saying play out towards the water to get a better angle. I would say this kind of cuts a little bit too much, I feel, into it. Honestly, I'll talk about when I get up there to point to it, but I would do that a little differently to accentuate the strategy off the tee you're trying to do. Oh, jeez, and I pulled that. So I honestly would kind of cut this like this, and then maybe cut this more in over here, so that if you did what I did where you ended up going way over to the left, your straight line is a little more, you kind of have to try to draw it into the hole, where if you played towards the water, you have a more straight shot, and you can play a fade or straight shot into that green. I'm not sure. I'll just do this. But again, I really like the low laying nature of this hole, or this course that you did. I think it's really cool look, just needs a little more refinement here and there. This green, it needs, I definitely think it doesn't need to be this wide. Maybe you can kind of cut it like this or something. Yeah, it just needs a little bit more to it, but oh jeez. Oh, I thought that was in the water. Another par 4, and this one's done really well too. How it kind of jets out into the water. I do think that back area could be cleaned up a little more, make it look a little more natural. And yeah, so far you're using the feature really well, because it's used in different ways on different holes, with the player having different clubs in their hand, which is really how it should be utilized. Just the one thing about this hole, I like that it's, longer par 5 than the other one, since we went 2 par 5s. I will say, I want something a little more consequential, since I can't get to the green to make me think on the second shot. There is just don't like totally blast it because you can head it in the water, but I don't know. I feel like there's wants to be like some sort of little pot bunker or something in the middle here. Or maybe you really, this kind of planted bunker area, maybe you really prop that up so it's a big barrier that you can't see the green, and you want to try to hit, and then you kind of line that left side with bunkers maybe, and you want to try to hit towards those bunkers to get a view of the green. Just an idea. I do like that the green here is a little more, you got a little more things to think about because pretty much everyone's going to be taking a wedge into it, so that's a good use of kind of changing up the green based on what club people are going to be hitting into. Again, the fairway here is a little far, and then some of these bunkers could be done a little better because you see it kind of like cut into the fairway like this, and since you're going with these straight, kind of more straight edges at points, these really stand out. I feel like this is too tight. I know it's supposed to be the harder shot because it gives you more of a straight shot into the green, but this is still just too tight. I don't know anybody that would try to go for that. I think the pin I have is part of why I'm like kind of dancing around, because I realize the pin on this lion's mouth here, I have the pin that makes the strategy the least successful, but these ones on the other side, like especially the ones in the back, would benefit from hitting here. The one thing about lion's mouth though is it's a bit of like pick your side based on where the pin is, and you can have different difficulties depending on your side, but this is too drastic because you kind of always would go to here for those pins on the right, so this could be the side more for the pin on the left, but there's no, it's just too tight there. Although I guess I don't have the best driver for this, that's probably part of it. I don't know, there's something I'm still kind of struggling with on this hole to make the strategy really tied together more. And it, oh jeez, something a little more that made this right side still have a little more of a reason to try to go for one side or the other. But I could see how a back pin would really benefit being on that left top tier. The right side is probably best to stay on the lower right portion when you're driving. Oh, fucker. Okay, that was a really cool looking course, and if you have the time, I wouldn't mind seeing you continue that and see if you can make a full course out of it, because it's a really cool look that you had going there.
And then I think this is the only one with 2 par 3s and 2 par 5s, which is a cool little quirk. I would like that first par 5 maybe to be more like 590-ish, just cut off a little bit of space. So and then those par 3s to be not so close. One of them could have been more 140, 150. To have a little more variety, because right now they're probably like 1 club apart. But regardless, it was a really cool looking course. Congrats on the 2nd place finish, and hope to see you in the next competition.
And thanks, guys.